Hey everybody, this is Aeroica with another video, and it looks like we've got another event to work on for this week called the Blistering Summit Challenge. So in the other events, we were able to work on a hero, and that's the same here, except this time it's going to be for Lady Nimrel. One of the interesting things here is that it says in the description that there would be some kind of secret to discover, and you'll notice that on that last screen there was no list of loot that would drop. It wouldn't tell you what would drop into the dungeon. So I've been kind of trying to figure out what it would be, and since this is just a scrolling dungeon and there really is very little interactive pieces, I decided to, just kind of play around with the team a little bit because that would be the only thing I could think of that would trigger anything. It's a scrolling dungeon. The only interactive parts are the little sparkly things where you can get some energy or some gold. So I decided to play around. And initially I'd started off with a water team, one that I thought for myself was the best that I had available. But this didn't do anything right off the bat, at all actually. So the team that I chose for this was going to be Igorok, Yasmin, Stonefist, and Therent. And that team performed rather well. Got all the way to the end of the dungeon with no problem. But then interestingly enough, I got a variation of all different kinds of treasure chests at the end, from wood to silver, gold, and purple. Or epic, and I did not get anything in them except some gold and then some of the XP potions. So I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. And it seemed like the drop rate for the epic treasure chest was pretty high. I think I ended up with like 2 or 3 of those, but again, nothing in them at any time. So then I went ahead and decided to burn some loot keys. So I ended up doing that probably about 10 or 15 times, thinking, hey, this will end up being the same thing as the Julius event. She will trigger, even though I'm not actually killing her. But I noticed that that wasn't really happening, or I wasn't getting any notification for it, and I wasn't getting any quest updates for it, despite having done it that many times. So I was like, okay, so what could it be? So then I start looking at the description a little bit, because I'm thinking, what could it be that could trigger this? What's the variables that I have control over? And again, this goes back to the team. So I'm looking at the suggestion, and it says, hey, you might want to bring Yasmin, and then Yoko. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe they are trying to tell me something. Maybe they are saying, hey, bring these 2 people on purpose. So I did. And when I did that, just want to call it luck or whatever, I ended up encountering Lady Nimrel head on. And so I was able to encounter her, defeat her, and get the quest upgrade. So then I'm thinking, well, maybe there's something more here, what else could there be to make these treasure chests drop something? Because once again, even though I encountered her in the dungeon, I'm getting to the end of the dungeon and there's nothing in it. It's just gold and the elixir, the XP potions. So then I started playing around with a little bit more, and unfortunately, the results are not consistent. I don't have anything specific I wish I could tell you. I'm just saying that at this point, my focus was on composition because that was the only thing that I had control over, other than choosing to go into the dungeon and looking for sparkly stuff. There was nothing else that I could do, because let's face it, I mean, no offense to the game, this is not exactly, some kind of souped up RPG. It's basically a scrolling dungeon and you move to the right and that's the end of it. So it's mostly strategy at this point and composition design. So that's where I went for. So this event is obviously a way for you to gain a few extra tokens, but there's still the same other quests that are part of the campaign mission for you to pick up Lady Nimrel tokens as well. This is just a way to supplement that. At this point, I'm cautious to say how valuable this particular event may be. The other ones were a little more straightforward and they seemed a little more consistent. And I get this is supposed to be some kind of mystery thing or, some secret dungeon. I get it, but at this point, I'm not really sure if the investment is worth it unless you're really close to giving her another star somewhere. So, but in any case, hopefully you'll enjoy just for the sake of having an event. And if you figure out what it is that this secret dungeon thing is, by all means put that in the comments and share with the rest of us. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Happy dungeon hunting and raiding, and I will see you at the next video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and if you have a few extra seconds, go ahead and like and comment. This is Aeroica, and once again, we will see you at the next video.